Hey, how are you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Dog Turds into Diamonds. It's another episode here with AFC Rushden Diamonds, and we start off this time around looking at Jason Cowley. We offered him a contract, and unfortunately, he is elected to go to Gosport. We offered him a contract for £150 a game, but as you can see, Gosport have come in with a full part-time contract for him on £190 a week. They are third in the Southern Premier League, the Southern League Premier South. So they are a team, you can see they're just 1 point off the top. They are in with a chance of winning that league, and it could be a side that we end up facing in the playoffs maybe. So I would say he's just been a dirty mercenary and gone for the money, but they are actually in a pretty decent position. So unfortunately, we've missed out on Jason Cowley, but we do have some good news because we've renewed a couple of contracts. Demario Brown-Sterling has renewed his contract for next season. We were paying him £350 a week. He's now on £375. That's pretty good because he wanted £450, and he also wanted a clause that guaranteed him to be in line with the highest paid earner. We managed to get that clause out and get him down to £375. So I'm really pleased to have got him signed up for another year, the 35-goal man. We've got to see how it goes though, because right now he is on his worst run of his Rushden Diamonds career. We'll speak a little bit more about that in a minute, but he has scored only 1 goal in the last 6 games. We are in a little bit of a nervous breakdown right now, but really pleased to get this AFC Rushden Diamonds legend confirmed for another season. We have also got Jack Brown signed up also for another season. He's on £325 a week, which is the same as he was earning the rest of this season. So there's no wage rise for him, but we do get him for another year, which is absolutely sensational. I did try and get him on 2 years. He only wanted 1. But again, I mean, 16 goals and 14 assists this season. Absolutely sensational. And if we look at the squad and we look at the contracts, so Jay Williams and Demario Brown-Sterling are now the highest paid players in the squad. And Kalon Hazeman also still signed up until the end of next season on £350. Basically, all our big important players, apart from Matt Richardson, are confirmed until the end of next season. Kingsley James, we've got till the end of next season. Callum Ferry until the end of 2025, which is awesome. And so everybody that's on a full part-time contract, apart from Matt Richardson, is signed up till the end of next season. That is because Mark Waddington, I have confirmed that we are going to release him at the end of the season. So we're going to save his £230 a week. I've also confirmed that we're going to release Ravi Shamsi. So we're going to save that £170 a week. So we're £400 up straight away there. And then Sam Warburton, his contract is running out. I'm waiting to see what division we are in before I look at renewing Sam Warburton's contract, because for our division, he's a decent enough left back. He's pretty good. And he is having a good season. He's only got 3 assists though. I think there are many, many better left backs out there, but at £95 a week, he's a decent squad option at the very least for next season. So I'm waiting to see what happens with him. But if he goes, we're basically saving £500 a week. And that is good, because apart from the fact we're £133,000 in debt now, we are, if you look at our committed spending, we are currently above our wage budget because we have renewed these contracts, but our committed spending for next season is £200 below what we're spending right now. But also, supposedly next season's wage budget is £4,400 per week, which would be a £600 or £500 raise on what we're paying right now. If we get that, it would be absolutely awesome. It would really allow us to put a little bit of extra strength in there. But as it is, our committed spending is 3,700 a week for next season. And so we could have as much as £700 a week to play with in the summer, which would be absolutely fantastic. And then yeah, if we let a few players go in the summer as well, that obviously gives us even more. The other news, I know I probably mentioned that I wasn't going to do this, but I have made another new signing. He was just too good to let go. Ryan Upward. He's given us an upward trajectory. Yeah, I couldn't resist that. 30 years old. He wants to play as a ball-winning midfielder, which he is fantastic at doing that. But I think he looks like an absolutely sensational centre-back. Looking at his first touch and his passing, he's just not good enough to play our passing game in the midfield. But as a centre-back, look, I mean, if we look at him as a central defender, he has absolutely everything that you need at our level. Brilliant positioning, brilliant marking and tackling. His heading's not the greatest, nor his jumping reach, but he is 6'3", so he's got that going for him. He's got that height that he doesn't actually need to jump that high. His positioning is fantastic. Good concentration and composure for our level. Anticipation, excellent. 15 aggression, 13 bravery. He's another leader. He's very determined. The only downside are those god-awful decisions for decision-making. But he's got pace. He's incredibly strong, 16 strength. He's just going to bully people with his 14 stone. So I couldn't resist bringing him in. He was in on trial. If we look at his history, so he has been playing, look, he played 35 games last season in the Vanarama National League, 2 divisions above us. He is a Vanarama National League player. So I've brought him in. He is going to play centre-back. There's no way I'm going to play him ball-winning midfielder. There's no way he's taking the King's place. But, yeah, I think it was just such a good signing that I had to go through with it. And because our committed spending for next season is now down, I mean, it doesn't look so bad. It's probably going to spell the end for Alex Collard, who's only been playing on and off this season. He's made 7 starts and 6 substitute appearances. I mean, you can see there's just a world of difference between the two of them. So Alex Collard, I would expect to go in the summer, especially if we go up. There's no way he's going to be good enough for Vanarama North or South. But yeah, I'm looking at bringing Ryan Upward in to partner Matt Richardson. And Jamie Scott can actually play left back. So I think if we look at him as a fullback, the only thing he doesn't have really is the crossing ability. But he's got everything else to be a really good fullback. So what I envisage is him moving out to left back. And if we look at him against Sam Warburton, I mean, he is definitely the better player. Technically, no competition. Mentally, they are rated the same, and he is a better athlete than Sam Warburton. So I can imagine, whichever league we are in, Jamie Stott maybe becoming our left back. Again, he's not got the greatest crossing, but everything else is very, very good. Jamie Stott becoming the left back, and we then look at a central defensive partnership of Matt Richardson and Ryan Upward for next season. I think that could really, really work. Okay, now moving on from all of that, I forgot the last episode. I was so excited with our late winner over Banbury that I completely forgot to mention that we were drawn against Peterborough Sports in the semi-finals of the Southern League Cup. Peterborough Sports, if we look at them, they are really struggling. 20th place in our division. They are certainly going to go down. I don't really see a world in which they stay up now. You can see they've got a couple of players that I actually have on my shortlist. They've got a very good left back in Luke Warner Eli. I mean, again, if they go down, he could be a very, very good signing to get. You can't see all the details there, but he is good enough to be on my shortlist. And Ryan Fryatt is a 30, I thought he was over 30. He's a 29-year-old centre-back who, again, is very, very solid, very, very good. So a couple of players there from our local rivals that I might want to poach should they go down. But first of all, we have got to beat them in the semi-finals of the Southern League Cup. Now, you might think that would be really easy because the last time we played them, we absolutely hammered them 5-0. But we are on a really poor run. Since you were last here when we beat Banbury, we've played a number of games. We then beat Hitchin in the league. I was hoping to really establish ourselves. You can see we dominated the game, but we could only score 1 goal, a late winner from Thomas Hughes, which was very, very pleasing. But yeah, we did have good control of the game, but didn't make it any more than 1 goal. I said when you were last here, I was expecting our run of games to be quite tough. We were up against strong sides, and it proved to be the case. We went away to Colville, who were on an absolutely horrific run of form. They were one of the worst form teams in the league. You can see we completely dominated again without getting shots on target. We had 19 shots, but only a 1.24 XG. And I feel like I was FM'd here. You know, there's times in FM where it just gets to you just get a game out of nowhere where everything was working well, and then just out of nowhere, things just stop working. And that seemed to be the case here. We were 1-0 up through Thomas Hughes again. I believe this was a sensational free kick. And then in the last 20 minutes, you can see here, they had far worse XG than us. They only had 3 shots on target. They got a 92nd minute winner. Callum Ferry in goal was very, very poor. And yeah, so we lost the game, our 4th defeat of the season. And after beating Banbury and looking to put some distance between us, we then offered them the opportunity to peg us back yet again. Really, really poor performance. Well, not a poor performance, but a poor result, and disappointing because, as you can see, it looked like everything was fine apart from the shots on target. So moving on from there, we went away to Needham Market, who were right up at the top of the league, and you can see it was a 2-2 draw. But look at this, the same thing again. We completely dominated. This time we did have the shots on target. 9 shots on target to their 3. They had a 0.54 XG. And once again, we've dropped points from a game that we have completely dominated. This is just like the end of last season. I can't explain it. We've got the possession. We've got the XG. We've got the shots on goal. We are dominating games still, but it's just one of those where it just seems like the game has decided that it needs to peg you back a little bit, or that it's looking for you to just make a little adjustment somewhere, but you have no idea where that adjustment needs to be because the stats say that you are doing all right, apart from the fact that you're not winning. Oppong here was really, really good, really gave our defenders nightmares. You can't see much about him, but you can see he's an incredibly strong 6'3", 14 stone 6 striker with a really, really good first touch. He really did cause us hell. He's got 8 in 12 games this season, the 20-year-old. And now I'm looking at him, you see he's been released from Ipswich, just like our own Thomas Hughes. I think I might be wanting to scout Mr. Oppong and maybe see if he's someone we can bring in the future as well. So yeah, that was another disappointing one just because we played so well. We then went away to Plymouth Parkway, and fortunately we got back on track here. A 3-0 win. Again, a really dominant performance. We didn't even give them a shot on target. Thomas Hughes on target again from the penalty spot before Jack Brown and Ravi Shamsi. It was another game without a goal for Demalio Brown-Sterling. Really, really concerning the way the goals seem to have just out of nowhere dried up for him. Then at home against Royston, which I was expecting quite a tough game. Again, completely dominated, only one shot on target for them. Demalia Brown-Sterling did get a goal here. Jack Brown, Matt Richardson with his first of the season. Thomas Hughes popping up with another goal. And then he finished it off with a penalty as well. If we just take a look at Thomas Hughes, we had last episode the Demalia Brown-Sterling appreciation. Now, this is the Thomas Hughes appreciation. 34 games for us this season. 26 goals and 14 assists. Absolutely sensational from the 22-year-old. He's on for a 30-goal season in his debut season with AFC Rushden Diamonds. And combining him with Brown-Sterling, who's got 35, and then also Jack Brown, who is now on, let's have a look, 16 goals and 14 assists. Our front three is just absolutely magical, just majestic. The final game that we played before today's semi-final against Peterborough Sports was away at Leamington, and yep, you guessed it, we completely dominated this one as well, without getting more than 3 shots on target, although we did have a 1.69 XG. We had 15 shots at goal, no breakthroughs. Really, really frustrating to see. Every game seems to go down this route at the moment, and that all means that in the league, you can see we are 6 points clear of Banbury, but they do have a game in hand. This one is not over by any means, and looking at the schedules, it does seem that they have a little bit of an easier run-in than us, but our hardest games are at home, and they have a couple of really tough away games. They are away at the champions Bromsgrove Sporting on the final day, who you can see are now up into 3rd place. They are having a very, very good second half of the season. Tamworth do have 2 games in hand, so you'd be expecting Tamworth to take that place back. But I would make them the favourites to get that final playoff spot at the moment. But anyway, we can't be concerned with that now. We've got Peterborough Sports away in the semi-finals of the Southern League Cup. I would love to make the final. And Banbury are away to Royston in the league, which is not an easy game, although we did beat them 5-0. An away game at Royston is kind of a different proposition. So this is the team we are going for, because Matty Richardson is suspended. Lewis Turner is going to start at right back in front of Callum Ferry. Jay Williams and Jamie Stott will be the centre backs, Warburton on the left, and then Caelan Hazeman, King James and Jamie O'Hara, the midfield 3, the established 3. You can see all the lines between the players now. They've got really good understanding. Then up front, it is, of course, Jack Brown, Thomas Hughes and Demalia Brown-Sterling. We really need a return to form for Demalia Brown-Sterling today. On the bench, Jim Fenlon has returned from injury. He's made 1 substitute appearance. He's getting his fitness back. Really, really great squad option to have back. And then Alex Collard and Upwood are on the bench with Waddington, Ravi Shamsi, Coulthurst, who both Ravi Shamsi and Coulthurst, you remember the last episode, had offers. Neither of them wanted to leave, so they are here at least until the end of the season. Coulthurst has been doing all right. He's got a few goals now, so I'm pleased that he is a viable option coming off the bench. And the lonely Aaron Blair is finishing up the bench there. And our sub left back, I'm really disappointed with myself that I didn't recognise the opportunity for some sort of thumbnail clickbait with the name of Ben Greenwood, with everything that's been going on in the news at the moment. I really should have made the most of that as I tried to grow this show. I really needed a "We Signed Greenwood" post, but it didn't even cross my mind at the time. But anyway, there you go. So that's the starting lineup. The only thing I do want to change here, the last couple of games, because I did change to run at defence to try and get our dribblers having a go at the defenders. Jack Brown is a half decent dribbler, as is Thomas Hughes. But I am going to take that off again. I was really just trying to adjust something, just to give us something different. But I'm going to take that off and go back to our traditional system, which has served us well pretty much all season. I'm going to ignore these last few games where we have struggled for goals a little bit more, particularly away from home. We are the red-hot favourites here, with Peterborough struggling so much in the league. We have got to be the red-hot favourites. Do I go with the assistants? Stick to the plan, stay patient. Yeah, no one's reacted. I actually think that is a decent message. Just try and tell the players to keep faith in what we've been doing. Fortunately, they are all up for this game now, minus Jamie O'Hara. He's just cool as a cucumber. Look, composed there. And is this televised? Yeah, this is on SITV. All right, so we get some TV money, hopefully. There's absolutely no one there. As Peterborough Sports in a cup semi-final, there is no one in the stadium to watch them. No one's interested, even though it's a local derby. I guess that means we haven't taken any away fans either, so our fans couldn't care less about this competition either. Now they're playing 4-4-2, if I just put their formation on. They're playing 4-4-2, which does suit us. I think I've said that a number of times. Let's just encourage. We are now starting to take control. We've had more shots. As usual, we've got the better of the possession. Can we now really establish ourselves in this game? No highlights as we go past the half-hour mark. And this is what I've been watching the last few games, where the stats say we're dominating, but we absolutely don't create anything. This is, it's so frustrating, so frustrating. Right, I'm going to tell them I don't like what I've just seen. Yeah, they've responded to that. That is good. Now, what do I do here? I think I'm going to ask them to be more expressive. We might run at the defence as well. I'm going to ask them to be more expressive because they are dominating. They're just not creating anything. And I guess this would be Peterborough's plan as well, with us playing without wingers. They're probably just packing out their box there, and I'm going to go attacking as well. Let's demand more from the players as we now reach the hour mark and absolutely nothing is happening. And they have actually had more shots than us now. They are actually now the better team, which is very, very concerning. Now I'm going to take off the expressiveness because that hasn't worked. I'm going to play a little bit more direct, and I'm going to direct them as well to run at the defence, and I'm also going to go to hitting early crosses. Let's get stuck in as well. Do I want to get stuck in? Because we keep giving free kicks away as well. Every time I play stuck in, we give free kicks away. I'm going to press more intensely. Every time we get stuck in, we end up conceding a free kick from somewhere that looks like this could be going into injury time. We have not had one single highlight. Absolutely awful game. Demand more again. Is there going to be a late highlight here? There is. I could have predicted it. Which way is it going to go? Will it go in our favour or their favour? Will it result in a goal, or are we going to extra time? Hughes finding Brown Sterling, and it is now in their favour. This is what I was worried about when this highlight started. Yep, they are getting in on it. Do they end up winning this game in the last minutes? We are really struggling here. Looks like they're going to get a cross in, and it goes over at the back post. So the first highlight of the game in the 87th minute goes to them, and they now have another straight to Ferry from their free kick. Can we now, on the counter-attack here, can we finish this game? Jack Brown brings it down brilliantly. A good save from Johnson, and we've got a corner. And Brown Sterling heads over, and this is just absolutely typical of what has happened for the last sort of 4, 5, 6 games. Very, very frustrating. There still might be a chance for them to take it at the end here. And we're meant to be pressing intensely, but we're really not. Turner brings it down, gives it straight back to them. And do I see exactly how this is going to finish? I think I do. No, it has finished. That highlight just ended very abruptly. That's a very strange way to end the game there, as they're coming right onto the attack. Now, I'm going to tell them I don't like what I've seen. I'm not going to follow my assistant's instruction. Let's make some changes here, because we have got an extremely tired team. I really don't know. What can I change here? Jack Brown is shattered. What is his penalty taking like? Because I've got to consider that. 6 penalty taking. So I think I'm going to take Jack Brown off for Coulthurst. The Shack attack comes on. I'm giving him yet another opportunity to be the hero in a live com. And do you know what? I'm going to take off Lewis Turner, and we're going to give Ryan Upward his debut at centre back. Jay Williams goes out to the right back position. Now, do I make another change here? Maybe Jim Fenland for Sam Warburton at left back. We've also, I guess I should look at penalty taking to see what options I've got. Ravi Shamsi is an 8 penalty taker. Aaron Blair only a 5, so we'll leave him out of things. He'll only come on if we go a goal down. Yeah, Mark Waddington can't take a penalty. So I think, looking at this, yeah, I think Ravi Shamsi is the best option of a penalty taker that we have. He is. So I'm gonna, for the moment, I'm gonna save that, and we might be looking at bringing Ravi Shamsi on. What is Kingsley James like at taking penalties? Yeah, so he's a 9, so he's decent. And Kalen Hazeman, he's only a 4. So I think that'll be the change. If we need to, it will be Ravi Shamsi coming on for Kalen Hazeman, if this is going to a penalty shootout. Now, can we actually create a chance in extra time? We have been really, really poor again. We do get a chance here. I'm not going to shout until I see the outcome of this highlight. Warburton brings it forward. Can he get a cross in? He should be able to from there, but he doesn't. He gets it across to Hughes. Hazeman on the edge. An awful shot from range. Let's demand more again. Well, I'm going to hold off on the shout again as this goes in. And Shack attack is there. No, he's not. Oh my goodness. I think I see the way this game is going to end. I think there is no way this doesn't go to penalties. Let's make this change here. Hazeman is absolutely shattered anyway. Ravi Shamsi on, and we'll knock Hughes back into midfield there. I've really got to think about what we do to try to create more chances in the future. I'm going to just make Ravi Shamsi an advanced playmaker on support there. I think I need to change Hughes because we've got 3 playmakers now, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Hughes is going to be a Masala. Let's see if Ravi Shamsi can be the one to come up with a little bit of magic to win this game. I cannot believe the last time we faced them, we completely dominated them, 1-5-0, and now we've ended up with this. Callum Ferry, you can see our goalkeeper is actually a pretty good penalty taker. So he's number 4 on the list there. Ryan Upward has got a decent penalty. So he's coming in at the end there. Let's have a look. I think do I want Coulthurst and Ravi Shamsi? Yeah. So Ryan Upward, I'm going to put in behind Coulthurst as the 8th penalty taker. Actually, at our level, I think we've got a very good penalty takers here. Hopefully that bodes well for us. Come on, boys, let's do this. An awful performance again. We just cannot score goals at the moment. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh goodness. Everybody dismotivated for the penalty shootout. Fortunately, Thomas Hughes doesn't let us down. Oh dear, come on. I do not believe this. How have things come to this? And Jamie O'Hara has missed. Oh my goodness. Oh, what a horrible way to start this episode. Absolutely awful, and Brown Sterling missed as well. We are not going to make the final of the Southern League Cup. Oh man. What a legendary team talk. Callum Ferry now needs to score to keep us in this. Oh. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I am going to throw a water bottle. I'm embarrassed. Oh, man. That's the beauty of Football Manager, folks, isn't it? That is the beauty of Football Manager. When the game just sticks two fingers up at you and doesn't tell you why at all. Peterborough Sports, who are 20th in the league, who are 9 points from safety, will play the Southern League Cup final. And the team that is top of the league will not. Let's have a look here. Now, Banbury drew again, which is great. We are 5 points clear now. And we are gonna, I didn't mention that today's episode was a double header, but we are now going forward. We are playing Nuneaton Borough at home in now a massive game. They are 5th in the league. They are pushing for that last playoff spot. We are on awful form. We are going to go forward to that game, and we are going to see if we can now take advantage of that 5 point lead we have at the top. We have got to get our season back on track now. We are in an absolute mess. We are in a real rut. I will see all you guys back. Click on the link for part 2 of this episode. I will see you guys back for that one very shortly, where we try and just turn our season around and get our form back before we go into the playoffs.
Yeah.